Hey Gary, how's it going? Actually, I'm sure other people will see this video as well at one point, but for now it's just a private video between yourself and mine. As you can see, this is a Plector prototype board. I've given you some information about this in the past. Sorry, I'm sick. This is the Crystal Focus version 3 prototype board. It actually went into a Saber at one point, but because it was a prototype board and it's been all hand traced, it's really hard for you to see that, but Irv did a really excellent job of hand tracing the kind of prototype before putting it into more of a machining process where they actually, machine etch the traces and all that. But anyways, it can't go into a Saber anymore. It's a little too volatile for such a thing, but it might be perfect for a Vader box. So that's good. It's been on this display thing for quite some time, so I think this video will at least show how fun it was to have that. I'll just boot it up. This is a general power switch right here, so I'm going to go ahead and press that, so that cuts the power. It acts like a kill key, but in the back is actually, I'll just show you, a recharge port and all that kind of stuff like that. So I'm probably going to keep most of this breadboard, but I'll have to cut some of this to fit it into the Vader chest box. So here we go. So that's the boot sound, and it can be any sound, obviously, that I want, whether I want it to be silent when I pull the kill pin or whatever. Now you can see one of the LEDs is flashing. It could be anything, actually, and we could have some that are on solid, just sitting there. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of ways to wire it. Right now, as you saw in a moment ago, it's powered by 7.2 volts, so we can do whatever the hell we want with it, basically. So I don't know what modes it's in right now, but I'm pretty sure it must be a Vader mode, a regular one. I have like a few banks, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute. This is the power switch, and here's an auxiliary switch. So here's the power.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
So at this point, it's now moved from the power on sound to the hum sound. In this case, it's just going to be Vader breathing. There's some sequencing going on, and it could be akin to the Empire Strikes Back kind of thing. It's completely up to us on what we want to do. The sequencing can be in any order, in any way, in any shape or form, with any lights. It doesn't matter. This LED over here is actually the main Saber LED, but it could be used for anything. You can't see it, but it actually flickers a little bit. Not much in this particular manner. Now, the interesting thing about this is, so that's Vader pretty much at rest. He's not doing anything right now. But if we give the board like a little swing, let me see if I can get it to happen a little. There we go. And I'll have to mess with the sensitivity because that would be Vader moving a little. You can see he's breathing a little faster. And then he goes back to the other ones. And that's triggered by all sorts of different possible swings. And they're all a little different. A more violent swing has him breathe a little faster. But for clashes, so you get the idea behind that. And of course there's quotes.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
And then it just seamlessly goes back to breathing.
Don't make me destroy you.
So let's see what else.
The Force is strong with this one.
Lots of different ones. And then powering off, of course, I figured, hey, I might as well do something funny. And just some sounds like he's shutting down, whatever. Let's see, now I'm going to show you the sick Vader mode. That works for me because I'm sick, the dying Vader one, which no one's ever done that before that I know of, so this ought to be a fun font to test. Let me see if I can find it.
Yes.
So we're in the menu mode now, and that has other things going on. None of it makes sense right now to anyone but me, but that's fine.
Good. Join me.
So that's the mode I want. The boot sound.
Help me take this mask off.
So now whenever I hear that boot sound, I know that we're in the dying Vader zone or whatever. Alright, so when we turn it on, I'm going to do something different than having the whole, the force is strong with you. It's just, I think it's blank, and then it just moves into hum. I'm not sure though. Yep. So I did a little bit with the main breathe, that first one, and kind of just tweaked it a little. It sounds weird. And then of course the squeak, the kind of death rattle is pretty much, I guess, the one from the film. I had to do some trouble to find a clean clip of that, but I did. And now I didn't make anything fancy with this one, with the whole changing and swings thing. You can still do it, but it's the same exact sound. I decided not to go bananas with that, because he's dying. He's not going to be running around or fighting. And some quotes, of course.
Just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes. Just for once.
Oops, same one.
But you'll die.
Nothing can stop that now.
And what else?
Luke, help me take this mask off.
So it's those kinds of things. And there's still some pops and clicks in this font that I need to get worked out. I don't know why. It's just a limitation of the board. And then we turn it off, and I think I put it for the whole end sequence when he actually does die. And I blended it a little because it's pretty long.
Go, my son. Leave me.
I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have. Luke, you were right. You were right.
I put in a few extra little dying breathing noises. Actually, it worked great because I'm sick, so I was sort of recording me going, that kind of thing. Just because visually you see what's happening on screen, but sound-wise you didn't quite get it if it's not part of the visual for that one sequence. So a little bit of his last gasp helps. But anyways, it's a long ending sound, and I don't know if anybody really needs it, but it's kind of interesting to have, especially when you have 6 banks working here. I can imagine that each bank later could be used to have a different sequencing. You know what I mean? For the chess box, it could be one made for ANH, it could be one for ESB here and then ESB there. I hear there's sort of like 2 main differences that people saw, and then finally an ROTGA version and an episode 3 version and so forth and blah 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 blah. Obviously there's no ANH version to a point, since they didn't light up in the movie, but I find it to be more interesting if they do. If I'm going to go ahead and do this Vader thing, I just think it's pointless to have a chess box that doesn't light in this day and age. It's 2004, almost 2014 now, and it just seems strange. You know, why would you have these little boxes where Vader's supposed to be moving around and having all this cool technological stuff going on and just not have it? Sure, for the movie it's not accurate, but I don't care about that. Anyways, this video is getting long, so there you go, man. Looking forward to seeing what we can do with this. It'll be pretty exciting. The beauty is it can always be removed from one box and put into another. It won't be hard. All right, see you later, buddies.